Melania Trump and her team are touting her love of being First Lady after she's endured a wave of criticism and seen her approval rating sink by double digits in a recent poll. "It is an honor to be number FLOTUS to this incredible country," Trump tweeted on Monday with a video featuring patriotic, smiling footage of her visiting with members of the military last week. As Melania Trump has increased her defense of President Donald Trump, the East Wing has increased its defense of her, particularly as she has stepped up her public profile and joined her husband in his attacks on the media. Her office has bunkered down the past few weeks and gone on the offensive when it comes to the First Lady after a CNN poll revealed her approval rating dropped 11 points since the last poll in early October. The falling numbers came as Melania Trump has been seen more often in the public eye at her husband's side, usually holding his hand. She has defended his presidency and herself, telling ABC News in October she was the most bullied person in the world. Share this article. Share. Additionally, Trump has upped her public appearances, most of them tied around the holidays. She packed care packages for the troops with the Red Cross, helped Marines with their Toys for Tots campaign, visited troops on U.S. bases, and read to sick children at a Washington, D.C. hospital. Trump's communications director Stephanie Grisham stepped up her public defense of her boss. She wrote a fiery op-ed this weekend that slammed a CNN contributor's commentary on the First Lady and made a rare TV appearance when she went on Fox and Friends Monday morning to continue her critique of the media. "These days the consistent negative coverage that Mrs. Trump gets is not fair. I know I will be attacked for saying it's not fair, that I'm whining, but we are defending ourselves. I can't tell you how many inquiries I get that has nothing to do with the substance of her work." She went 2 weeks ago to Liberty University and spoke to 10,000 college kids about the dangers of opioid abuse. She gave an off-the-cuff answer about Christmas decor, and for 2 days that's what we talked about: Christmas decor. "I think the media is missing an opportunity to cover the great work she is doing," she said on the Fox News channel. Grisham also complained about the media coverage in her CNN piece, writing, "When the First Lady announced Be Best, her campaign to help children all over the world, the media criticized her for focusing on the importance of safe and responsible behavior online, presumably because they disagree with her husband's use of Twitter. In doing so, the media fumbled a critical opportunity to highlight the many inspiring children, families, and programs Mrs. Trump mentioned during her speech. She added, "The simple fact is that Mrs. Trump deserves honest reporting and media coverage that focuses on the substance of her message, the importance of helping children grow up to be happy, healthy and socially responsible adults. The role of First Lady brings with it unique opportunities to help people across the country and around the world. This is not lost on Mrs. Trump. She has and will continue to demonstrate her commitment to helping children and advancing the causes she is passionate about. But there is nothing wrong with staying true to herself along the way. In fact, her strength, individuality, and integrity should be celebrated," Grisham wrote. The East Wing has complained, as have other staff of the First Lady before it, that the media focuses too much on what the president's wife wears or her hair. Trump's team has stepped up their defense recently in the wake of criticism the First Lady faced about the red trees she placed in the White House for its holiday decorations, and some of her fashion choices, such as a white safari hat she wore on her Africa trip that rocked reminders of colonial rule, and her infamous "I don't really care, do you" jacket she wore when boarding a plane to visit migrant children being held on the U.S. Mexico border. the harsh spotlight of the White House and the controversies President Donald Trump brings with his comments and tweets have inevitably reverberated back on the First Lady. She has, of course, defended her husband, and she's acknowledged that she knew she would be criticized when she made anti-bullying one of her initiatives, with some critics pointing out one of the biggest offenders is her husband. President Trump often uses his Twitter account to attack his political enemies. I knew that I would be criticized, but I would do what is right for the next generation, the First Lady said during an appearance at Liberty University. Sometimes you need to fight back, I'm sorry, she added in a remark many saw as a justification of her husband's behavior. Still, she has praised his work for the country. I think my husband, he's doing an incredible job with the country. Does best ever, she told Sean Hannity in a rare interview last week. Hannity was the only reporter allowed to go with her on all three of her stops last week to thank members of the military for their service. And, during those appearances, she touted her husband's love and appreciation for American troops as he's been undergoing criticism for not yet visiting U.S. military stationed overseas. The First Lady mentioned her husband in some context 4 times in her 3 minutes of remarks to troops at Joint Base Langley in Hampton, Virginia. I speak on behalf of my husband when I tell you we are forever grateful for your service, she told the crowd of cheering soldiers and their families. I want you all to know the President and I are so grateful and have unconditional appreciation for all that you do, she noted. This administration will always stand with the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Melania Trump crammed 3 appearances into her day, starting at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling, Maryland, and then flew in a V-22 Osprey, the first time a First Lady has ever flown in one, to Joint Base Langley. She then went to visit the USS George H.W. Bush to spend time with the crew and tour the carrier. That is also where she sat down with Hannity. But the First Lady is using Twitter more to get out her message, along with posting videos of her work in the White House, on her Be Best campaign, and her public appearances. Grisham also has stepped up her defense and said the First Lady will not be deterred by her critics. I think that what she has shown is that she is not going to be deterred. She is going to do what she thinks is right. She is going to stay true to herself. Despite the negative criticism, despite the perception that perhaps the media is trying to put out there, she is going to continue to go out there and work on Be Best and do what's right for kids, she said on Fox and Friends.